Hello and welcome to day 21 of Vlogmas. This was a special request from one of our guests, Fantasy. He wanted to see my editing process. I'm not sure what to say through this, so I'm just going to pop in and out, and I guess we're still going to edit this one even some, so it's not as long as it was. To start, anything for Vlogmas that takes me over an hour is doing a bit too much because I just want to capture the day and then take a moment to chop it together. So I don't really do fancy edits, I just do jump cuts to make a story. To start, I like to try to trim it down. This recording was probably 30 minutes, I think, because I just did one continuous recording and then I just trim out the dead zones, kind of like, no, that was an accident right there. But like that moment didn't make a lot of sense to the video. I kind of just wanted to show you what I was doing. I didn't have to show you the pauses in between. I didn't have to take as long showing you what the water was. Let's see. Yeah, so here I'm trying to decide like how important that moment is and then how much of it to keep or if I should make it faster, which I trimmed it out. That was me testing the lighting to see where the best angle was for that. And then I wanted to see, okay, so do I want them to go pop, 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 like item, 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 or do I want to show the item a little bit, show the next item a little bit? I'm doing this as I'm on a train, so excuse the squeaking in the background, please. Okay, so here I was deciding that that moment was a bit too long, so I cut it out. This I was doing for fun while I was recording, but again, it took too long, so I had to go. The only part that matters is separating the containers because I'm following directions on that part, not necessarily overall. Originally, I was thinking to show as I was going through the directions, but I feel like the viewer is not going to... I feel like it's not as important as the rest of the video of making it. Now this was fun to make because I've been wanting to make a video of making something, and my sister gave me this ages ago, probably 6 months ago now, and I never made it because I wanted to make a video out of it, and I couldn't think about making it without recording it and trying to make it a project. Oh, that little thing right there. I saw a bubble pop as I was trimming, and I was debating cutting that part, so I put a balloon pop noise. And I just wanted to make sure that it flowed. Super fun, man. Sound effects that Final Cut gives you is actually a pretty decent library. I think this is more trimming. So in this part, I was looking at where the fall happened with the powder. Do I want to show the powder already there? Do I want to show the process of the fall? That noise in the end, was that really necessary? For the first one, I think so. I don't remember if I kept it or not. No, I don't think I kept it. This part, I did a lot of mixing, which is why the video was like, I think it was 30 minutes originally. I can't even, where's the time at? The time's up there, I can't see it from this viewfinder. So I sped it up. I thought it would be funny. Now, I didn't know what this stuff was, and I couldn't really tell what the instructions were telling me to do, which I figured it out later, but I just said I'll just pour half in here and half into the other bowl, and then I'll just make the bows off of that, but then I realized, oh, wait, no, there's two coagulate type powders. In this one, it wasn't as important for you to see the table. I wanted you to see how, as I was scrolling through, I realized the liquids were moving, and I wanted to highlight that. And the zoom in is always nice too, depending on how dramatic you want it to be. I wasn't paying attention if I went back or not. Okay, so here I was trying to decide if I wanted to show the whole process and how I wanted to do that. I think the pores are really cool to watch, but that wasn't the best angle for what I did. I can't even see it there, see? Now here's something that was frustrating me. The solution was airy. I don't know how to describe it. Like if you watch it while it's mixing, it doesn't thicken like the other one did. It kind of just foams up. Okay, we got another mixing session. It's time for another speed times 4. And we're going to crop to focus on the mixing. There's way too much. Oh, is that what I did? I was confused when I went to rewatch it and it was black on my screen. That. So I accidentally trimmed it. I didn't crop it like I wanted to, so I had to go back and fix that. But I thought it was more important to focus on that particular zone. That extra space just looked like a blank canvas. Now this one again, is it important to show the pour or is it important to show the tapping of the rest of it? I feel like the viewer can assume that I just poured the rest in there. That's just to test the texture. It tasted alright, I just don't like rainbow flavor. Speed times 4. Okay, now here's something funny. I thought about it the first time it happened. Did I do that? Okay. Yeah, the mixing has to be sped up. There's so much. The second time I went to pour that way, it completely overshot because I turned it too steeply. So that's why I used the fork for the rest of that. It's like, man, I made it this whole way without dropping anything on this table. I took that thumbs up out. It didn't look like I thought it was gonna look. But part 2, I kept. I'm trying to remember what this one was. A lot of editing is just removing parts that don't make sense. Oh, here. Oh, shoot, I should have paused it. So that part where you saw the 2 screens was showing me the scene as it would be, like where it would come in at and where I think it's where it ends. Let me see if that happens again and then I'll say something about it. Because I made the first one so airy and watery, the second time I was making it, I wanted to make sure I did a little bit better. Because at that point I figured out what I was doing. Checking consistency, is that really important? Maybe just part of it, but not the whole thing. Can we highlight it? Sure, absolutely. How many different ways can we keep the viewer visually stimulated? This one looked like lemon powder. It's pretty cool. I might have to go check out the cafe car. I think I'm all the way at the back. Currently on a train ride to go visit my family. That's me checking to see how much more editing left I have to do. Oh, I know a lot of keystrokes now, so I'm not clicking around looking for things. I just push the buttons. So that's fun. That's something my mom used to do. And she didn't tell me it was important. She just knew it was easier than clicking. And you're reviewing your edits a few times sometimes. That was a pretty house. Yep, more mixing. Mixing is always at 4 times because 2 times wasn't enough and 8 times is too much. I really like playing with the textures. It was too funny. As you can see, this one came out better anyway. Oh, no, I was checking to make sure that my other videos imported. That's what was happening. Yeah, but why did I skip all the way there in the middle of the video? I can't remember. Sometimes my brain is on it, like, oh, no, that might have been the end. Okay. I know where I'm at. Really? This train goes through my old neighborhood. Or not the neighborhood, but like around the corner. At this point, I was trying to decide where to start. And then I was just listening to make sure that I was saying everything I needed to. Playing with texture. So when it comes to things that I don't have to cut, I'm usually just double checking to make sure that it sounds like I thought it sounded when I was recording. And this was definitely something I had to trim. That candy tasted different. How much more do we have? We don't have that much more. Okay. Yeah, so most of my edits are just cuts, rearranging. This one wasn't really rearranging because this is Vlogmas. This is a really pretty forest. Yeah, we're almost to the end. I was just triple checking to make sure it sounded like I wanted it to sound, trying to decide if I ever wanted to add music, which I decided not to. Now it's just the point of finding the ending.